Another stream. This time, I think what we will do is we're going to talk a little bit about Ortho4XP. And I'm noticing on my, I'm listening to the stream on my tablet at the same time, and there's like this buzzing sound, and I had that last time too. I'm not exactly sure how to get rid of that. I'll have to figure that out, but I did increase the volume on the microphone, so the streams will get a little better each time. we'll figure it out. So yeah, we're going to talk about Ortho4XP. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to my Ortho4XP folder. You can just go find it and download it. I mean, just Google for the stuff, man. Like Ortho4XP, and it'll take you to Explain's forum, and they'll have a thing, and you can just download it, and you can just stick it anywhere you want. Put it on. I would put it on a hard drive that has a whole pile of space, because these tiles are huge, absolutely huge. Once you have it unzipped, you need to go into this bin folder. And find Ortho4XP V120 or whatever it is, whatever version it is, .exe. I just have it sorted by type, so it shows up at the top. When you double click on that, it's going to open up a command prompt window, and then it'll load, and it'll make this fancy window here. I am, disclaimer off the top, I am by no means an expert on this at all. It's a little daunting at first, honestly, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Depending on the amount of bandwidth you have and the amount of hard drive space you have and how you want your sim to perform, you want to choose a base level or a base zoom level. I always go 16. A lot of guys use 17. I think it looks great at 16. 17 probably looks a lot better. It depends on your source as well. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes there's a big quality jump when you go to some of these other numbers. Areas that you're just going to be flying high altitude over, you could actually drop it way down, and it doesn't really matter. So the best one out there supposedly is OSM, but this thing has a lot of problems when you're downloading, and it'll time out on OpenStreetMap's calls and stuff like that. So a lot of guys use Bing. It really depends on the area of the world you're in. You'll get a better or worse result. I'm not even sure where all these things are from. They're all different sources of the orthographic imagery. Because really what you want to do, and I'll just recap a little bit, this will build from my last stream, sorry. So yeah, this will build orthographic scenery. It will make it, it'll give you like basically photoreal scenery, and it's flat. And then there's a whole pile of options and stuff, but down here there's a build overlays. And what this does is it takes the data for the roads and the water edges and all sorts, different foresty areas, all that kind of, it builds those things. Actually, and airports too, it'll actually put airport buildings in, which is kind of cool. So if you don't have any really good airport scenery for that, then you can, this will build that for you. And then once you get decent airports, you just put those into your custom scenery library in X-Plane, and and as long as you have it ordered properly, it will put that new airport scenery right over top of this stuff, and it will cover it up, and so you'll get the best of both worlds. So it's really good. So the one thing I do, I don't know if you really have to, it automatically finds this custom overlay directory. I don't really understand, because it's not building the custom overlay there. Maybe it's using some of the data that's in there, I'm not sure, but you want to find your X-Plane folder, global scenery, X-Plane global scenery, and if you can see EarthNav data, don't go in there, just click select folder, and that's where it is. So at the very basic level, you want to click on this Earth tile map once you have all this stuff selected. And what this does is allows you to choose the areas that you want to have orthographic scenery for. So obviously for the last flight that I did, I flew from Charlottetown to Halifax, so I threw some ortho scenery in for that. And I've added Moncton in because I like to go to Moncton once in a while too. But yeah, that flight was brutal. If anybody ever watched that stream, man, oh my god, it was terrible. It was just brutal. The weather landing in Halifax was nasty. It was windy, it was rainy, it was cloud right down to about 200 feet. It was all over the place. Just brutal. I ended up I was going to do a go around. I wasn't sure on the procedure, so I said screw it, and I just ended up coming back to Prince Edward Island. It was pretty crazy. I do plan on doing a flight today from Ottawa to Toronto, so I threw this stretch of scenery in. And then, so all you need to do really is, and you can just follow the directions up here, there's some shortcuts. Shift click to find to click on an area that you want. Like say maybe we're going to be flying from Ottawa down to here, so I would shift click that, and then I could just click on build masks, build overlays, and don't worry about the other stuff, that's fine, and just say build batch and let it go. Once it's done, it will put those let's see if I can find the folder here. Oh my god, I got a lot of folders open. It will put those into my Ortho4XP is right here. So it'll put those into a tiles folder, and that's where they are. A lot of guys will say now you can drag these into your custom scenery folders and then add it to the X-Plane scenery INI, and it will show up, and it will, and it works. But what I like to do is use this link in custom scenery, control click. So if you just find that and control click it or whatever, when it's done building that, this won't be red anymore. I think it goes to like a gray or a black or something. And if you control click, it will turn it blue, dark blue, like these guys. So I don't have to copy all this scenery over. And even though my X-Plane is running on a solid state drive, which is fast, my ortho scenery, it's big and fat, and I just have that running off of a regular 7200 big, it's like a 2 terabyte drive or something like that, and so that's where I keep it, and I can just link to it. And when you control click it to link it, then you see, go to my solid state drive, go to my X-Plane 11, go to my custom scenery, and you'll see that it makes these links. They're like symbolic links, and they point to those folders that are on my other drive. And so my INI folder, what you want to do here is you want to list these scenery packs that you've linked in here, so that it loads them, and you want them on the bottom. You definitely want your open scenery on top of that, because your open scenery right here is, I think it's, actually I'm not even sure, it's just some, oh no, that's completely separate. Ignore that. What I'm thinking about is this guy, the overlays. These are the ones that get built over top of that area, and I've put it here, but I really should have put it right above my ortho, so that it doesn't stomp on anything that's in here, whether it's open scenery, my Mr. X stuff, there's some global airports, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to blow those away. So that should probably, realistically, be sitting right about there. And that way all these other ones that sit on top of it, like there's Boston, that's another Mr. X scenery. And seriously guys, go and get Mr. X scenery is on the X-Plane org, and it's free, and it's really good stuff, so go get that. I also have Toronto on there too, so, and that's where we're going to be flying today, so it's a little better quality than what you get out of the box, and it's pretty good. So that is that. So I wonder if that had anything to do with why I was getting doubles in my Charlottetown and Halifax airport stuff or scenery. Well, we'll find out. Learn every day, that's what I say. So I did throw in a few new things here as well. I got some ramps and just airport environment HD files. You can get those off the X-Plane org as well. Just makes your default airports look a little nicer. And that's about it. I don't think I have to add anything for those. Oh, they're already there. Good. So X-Plane picked those up and modified that scenery packs file and put them in. So perfect. So yeah, that's really about it for X-Plane, Ortho4XP. There's not a whole lot to it. There is some finer detail stuff that you can do, like you can choose a custom zoom level for an area, and you can make a, like, so if you have those squares that were up that you saw on that other map were really big, right? Let's just turn this down and go to Bing, preview that. So they're huge, and so each square takes gigs of data, bandwidth and data. You may not want that all over that entire grid that you've selected. So what you can do is you can choose a different zoom level and make a polygon, like maybe just around an airport or just around a city, or something like that, and it would actually just get the higher zoom level for that area that you specified in your polygon, and it just makes it that much nicer just for that area. So you're not pulling down so much data, you're not storing all that data, and you're not forcing X-Plane to load all that data. And this guy's being slow right now, so he's not loading. That's fine. We'll figure him out another day. So, but generally, to make your scenery better, that's all you got to do with Ortho. And he doesn't want to shut down now, so let's just kill him. Do it the hard way. Go away. Die. There we go. So, and that's it. It's pretty friggin' awesome. It makes some of the best looking scenery that you can get, honestly, in any sim, really. So it's pretty good that way. All right. Let's see. Okay, so here we are in X-Plane, and we're going to do the flight Ottawa to Toronto, and we're going to do the same plane as we did last time. Honestly, I don't know this plane very well yet. I don't know any other planes, even any in X-Plane at all, any better. So we're just going to keep flying this guy till we get it right, and then maybe we'll move on to maybe an Airbus after that. So let's just zoom out and take a look and see what this Ortho looks like. It's not too shabby. Look at that. Got some nice shadows from those clouds. Look at the ground. You can see the roads or what's actually in Ottawa. When I used to live in Ottawa, and I used to take my daughter, and right next to this golf course here, and we would park out here and we would watch the planes landing and taking off. I had a really nice shots of a 747 landing here. It was from China one time, and the runway was all wet and it was spraying off, and you could see the vortice, wingtip vortices coming off of it. It was beautiful, lots of fun. And of course downtown Ottawa is up towards there, and all the roads are good, and it looks pretty nice, especially from this altitude. So let's get back to the plane. Wow, I got one of the bigger planes here right now by the looks of it. Maybe a little 737. Must be a quiet time for Ottawa. Not even sure who puts those planes in there. It's probably part of the Ortho4XP, because honestly, I don't remember having this building here either. I also have, it also has these jetways and whatnot, and I got all the ground stuff going on. You can actually, there are plugins to get those going too, but I just haven't done it yet. So let's get into the flight. Alright, so first thing we'll do is we'll power stuff up so we can get things moving, get our IRSs aligned, and then we'll go take a look at the weather and see what runway we're going to take off on. I didn't really plan for it, because when I looked earlier, there was no wind, and no wind at all. No direction, no nothing. Zero wind in Ottawa, which is really weird. It was zero gusting to zero, and so I wasn't really sure which runway they'd be using. So I'm hoping by the time we get started here, it'll update that for us. Okay, so our IRSs are aligning. We're on ground power, and we're going to fire up the APU so we can get some air out of those guys. Maybe a little bit of power. Okay, held that down. This guy's orange. He's firing up. So let's take a look at our FMC, and it's going to let us do it already. Awesome. And we'll put in our reference airport. I'm not sure how important that is, and I think we're at gate 17. Also, I don't think it's important, but there you go. C, Y, Y, Z. Okay, and let's do our departure. Okay, let's take a look at our, where's my sim brief? There it is. Let's just generate this again, because if you look at the weather right now, in here I believe I generated this when it was 0. I always have a hard time finding the weather in this thing. Probably cruised right past it. Probably. Oops. Yeah. Come on, where's the weather? Which runway are we taking off on? We're not going to do VATSIM this time. We're going to... I'm a little rattled after that last flight, so we're going to try and do this... we're going to try and do this offline until we can get everything stabilized before we go and throw ATC into the mix. Huh. Wind information. Here we go. No, that's during flight. We want to meet our... I got to get a service for that in X-Plane. I'm sure there's an NOAA one, and I can't get it to work to actually bring up the METAR when you punch it in. I know the Airbus that everybody's flying in X-Plane has it right in the window. You can just punch it in and it'll bring it up for you, which is pretty awesome. Right in the actual cockpit. They don't have that in the 737. Here we go. This is weather, isn't it? CYOW. Variable 06 knots, so it's variable. Huh. Well, okay, that's fine, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take off on 21, I believe. Let's just go with that then. Let's just take a look. The one over here anyway, around the corner. We'll go up in the air. Oh, there's another way to do this. Where are you? Whoa, crazy. Is it that one? Let's just move around a bit. No, this one. Yeah, there we go. So we can go. No. Yeah, this one here. Just go up in the air a bit. And what runway are you? 20. Oh, 20. What is that? 25? Okay. There you go. Runway 25. Well, we will fly the Ottawa 4 departure. So we're good. We got some vectors. Arrivals, we'll worry about that later. Let's take a look at the plan. Get this show moving. Tucker. This is actually an airway from here all the way down. I believe it's the UDNOX 2. Yeah, it's named after that waypoint, but it's UDNOX 2 airway, and for some reason the FMC does not like it, so we're just going to punch in waypoints. So Tucker and Libum. So route, flight plan, Tucker, boom, and Libam. I don't know how you pronounce that. Sounds about right to me, I guess. Punch that in. What else? What's next? Tucker, Libum, IGSAP, and UDNOX. IGSAP, and what was that? IGSAP, and UDNOX. Weird name. UDNOX. Alright. UDNOX and Ragged, I believe, is the last one. Ragged. Alright, that's good enough for now. Alright, good stuff. So, let's go in here. How much gas do we need? Shoot, I just calculated that and I didn't even put the gas in yet. We're going to need 5,000 kilograms. Again, I thought I fixed this so that we were using pounds. Save, damn you. Here, we'll just have to generate this again. I think. Maybe I didn't have to. Come on. There we go. That's better. 10,000 pounds, so we'll put in 15, I think. Weight and balance, 15, so... that's a lot of fuel. We already got it there, so bring this down, bring this up. You know what? Screw it. Let's just even across the board. 15. A little bit down, buddy. Come on, you can do it. 15.1. That'll do. How's our payload? 0 pounds extra fuel. I wanted 5,000. Oh well. Gotta learn how to use this wing better too. Good enough. Now let's see if this guy will recalculate. Delete that. Can I delete that? There we go. Alright. Reserves 5,000 pounds. Cost index, I don't know. Let's go fast. 99. We're going to go 32,000. We're going to plan for that on our cruise. Do we have anything about temperature en route? I know there's winds en route. Oh, there's our weights. Takeoff weight, 130. Oh, what did we pick? 118. Apparently we need a little more payload then. There we go. Done. Alright. What's our... There's our wind information. There's so much to learn to read all this stuff. I don't know what our en route temperature is. Maybe somebody can put a comment on my video and tell me how to do this. I don't know where our en route temperature is. Alright, fine. Just skip it for now. We're not going to derate anything. Take off, flaps 5. CFG's 4 something. No, up, man, up. Come on. Alright, I'll use the mouse wheel. Screw you. I usually do that from a different angle. 496. That looks about right. Alright. Put in those guys, and we should be good to go. Everybody's happy. We don't have an approach yet, but we will. And we'll do that when we get closer. Figure out our weather and stuff. Give us something to do while we're flying anyway, so. Alright, everybody's happy, happy, happy. The issue I've been having lately is my my better pushback doesn't work so good. So I've been using the built-in one in X-Plane. So I think we'll stick with that, because what happens is I get stuck. I can't get the tow guy to leave me alone. Drags me out and sits there, and I'm stuck, and I got my engines running. I can't move. So yeah, we're just gonna use the built-in one for now, and I'll take a look for an updated version of that one. Okay, our ground power's on. Let's give ourselves some APU. Let's give ourselves some APU wind. We'll turn on our window heaters. Why not? The electrics. Ooh, geez, we don't have fuel pumps running. I don't know what our APU is doing. It's just sucking the power on its own. It's got that kind of power. So turn on some lights. Do whatever. everybody's happy, 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 happy. Packs are off, good to go. So we can back up there. We'll just preemptively drop the flaps. Probably shouldn't under APU power, but I don't care. Still rattled after that last flight, man. That was brutal. I'm hoping this one goes smoother. We'll get our... I'll go 168. Okay, so I do want to find out what our barometric pressure is in Ottawa. I imagine that has to do with weather again, which I can never find really quick. Come on, where are you? 3003. Right on. So 3003. Perfect. Oh, that looks much better. All right. And our start off altitude, we'll just go to 10. We don't have any ATC that'll bug us, so we'll just go to 10 to start, and we'll crank it up as we go. We won't set that yet. That's good. So we're ready for our pushback. So theoretically, I think there's one in here. Ground handling? Yeah. We'll just go straight back. Request ground
service is on the way.
And we want to push back, so we need to turn off the there, and we're going to go straight back.
Okay, push cart on the way.
Push cart's on the way. There it. What the heck? Oh, I called for ground services. I'm gonna start loading up my stuff, and I'm gonna back out.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Pushing us back. Right on. So let's fire up those engines, shall we? Number 2. Probably turn on some seatbelt signs and some no smoking signs. I don't really care though. They can smoke if they want. What am I not doing right here? Why aren't you spinning up? We got our APU.
Okay, I'm clearing now.
Our packs are on. Oops. There we go. That should work better. There we go. Sometimes you can, depending on the pressure, even if your packs are on, it'll actually start the engines for you. But not in this plane. But depends on the 737, I guess. I don't know. Alright, when we hit 25, give her some gas. Boom. There we go. How's we doing on the push? Oh, it's done already. Look at that. Pushes back very far. Damn. I wonder if we can go farther.
Okay, push hard on the way.
Push us farther, damn it. Alright, we got some generators going on the engine there. That's good. And let's fire up number 2. And we'll go to continuous on number 1. Go, go, go.
Here we go.
Turn on our yaw damper since we have an engine running. Right on, right on. Yeah, we'll set that stuff later. Alright. How we doing? 25 yet? Oh geez, hot start. Here we go. Alright. It's looking good. Looking good. Nobody's going crazy. Oh, did our pushback stop again? Jeez. It's like baby steps. That's far enough. A little better. Alright, you can go away. Alright, we are good, and we should probably throw this guy on, well, in case we start sliding back to the terminal, we don't know. So, get some busts going on that, get some air coming from these guys, turn on our packs, get our recirc fans, and we don't need APU anymore. Everybody's happy to get our trim air. I don't need the probe heat yet. Sometimes I just turn it on anyway, whatever. Turn it on after. We'll do it before the takeoff. Try and keep this semi-realistic anyway. Alright, continuous on this guy. We're about to taxi. So we'll turn those guys on. And that looks good. Everybody looks good. Got our flaps out. This is all set. And that can go off. There's no recall on this. You're supposed to be able to push that and get them back, but there wasn't anything showing anyway, so I think we're okay. Alright, so what the hell is go Charlie. And alright, let's head over to the runway. That was my abbreviated stuff again. Give the engines a little bit of gas. See if we can get things moving. Whoa! A little too much gas. Sticky on the ground, this guy. I think I complained about that last time too. Come on, start moving. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Holy crap, man. Move, plane, move. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now we're moving. Need quite that much power on the engines right now. Now we're cruising. It's just hard to get started. And I find when you're turning corners you slow down a lot too, which makes sense, but still. Whoa, a little fast. Yeah, it's a racetrack. Did you know? Alright. Alright. Jeez, better slow those engines down. We are just cruising. Air Canada. Again, I wish I had my, why did we stop? The hell? Come on, man, go. Sticky, sticky plane. It's like they got put glue on the wheels or something. Maybe I throttled down a little too much. I think 50% N1 would be plenty on the ground. Although I think I turned it down. Really look and see how far the N1 came down. Okay. Yeah, so now we're just cruising again. Can't seem to find that happy medium. Alright. Go, go, go. Heading over to runway 25. My favorite. Up here on the left used to be First Air, if I remember correctly. They used to fly 727s.
On taxiway.
And that's not what it looks like it's there now. Although, this is not a payware airport, so. And that fence is actually there. And that car driving by is actually where you would be. So you could actually pull right up to the fence here and take pictures of these guys and they'd wave to you out the window. Kinda cool. For them, I guess. Alright, let's stop here. Finish up. Holy cow. Stop bouncing around. It's fighting me. Alright, let's see. We need to turn on the pedos. We don't need de-ice, we're good. Let's see. Those are good. Yaw dampers on. Navigation stuff's good. Fuel's good. Some lights. Landing lights. Yeah, electrics are good. Panel brightness. Give it a little more just for fun because it's daytime. Seatbelt vests. Smoking signs are on. We don't need wipers. Continuous on the engines. Window heater's good. Pitos. Air is good. Everybody's comfy. Everything's on. Autos. Oh, jeez, look at that. We're gonna go to 32. We almost had one of those events where everybody passed out in the cabin because they didn't have any air at altitude, so that would have been fun. I can't remember the landing altitude for Toronto. I think it's like 500 or 600. I can't remember. Maybe 300. So that's looking good. Okay, let's go down to the main display here. Main panel. Of course, don't care. There, we're going to be using 25, so let's just pull that out. Oh well, did I take the long way again? I always do that. And we're gonna go crank up the bank angle. We're gonna start off at 10,000. That should be fine. We're gonna have arm the auto brakes for projected takeoff, and flaps are good. Everybody's happy there. Let's go down here. Trim's good. This is good. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Right on. Right on. Okay, let's take off. Let's get out of here. Come on, 40%. Should be moving easy.
Approaching 2-5.
Come on. Come on, you big beast. Come on. I didn't look left. Ha! Dope! Watch us get landed on.
On runway 25.
Here we go. Take off, eh? Hard not to tell that I am Canadian. Oh well. Go, go, go. Come on. Never seen those wires up there before. Interesting. 100 knots, we're taking off.
V1.
Rotate. Come on, come on, get in the air, get in the air. I had an excellent landing on my takeoff. Interesting. Alright, pause the rate, gears up. Gear is coming up. Alright, VNAV, LNAV. Should have turned those on before. There we go. Start bringing up the flaps. Got plenty of speed. Bat out of hell. Love 737s. I just, when I went to put my flaps up, I think I hit the wrong button and changed my trim, which is why I'm not really climbing right now. Come on, get up there. There we go, come on. Yeah, don't interrupt the autopilot, he doesn't like it. These can be off now. That's fine. Oh man, we are just cruising. Take a look outside. Look at that. Whoa, that was cool. Ooh, I hit left on my hat and it just does that. Leaves me. That's hilarious. Here we go. Yeah, look at that scenery. It's beautiful. Look at that. Got some great, some brown old farmers fields. We got some downtown happening. We got the airport behind us. Look at that, a little shadow from the cloud. Best you can get for free, man, I tell ya. Very, very nice. Look at that. You can see houses and barns, roads, just random stuff. Instead of just repeating patterns of texture overlay. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh, we're going to pass through a cloud here. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't like cloud anymore. Not after that last flight. Oh, man. Alright, that was a quick little cloud anyway. We're all good. We are all good. Nobody on the chat. Nobody's watching me. That's okay. Maybe one day we'll get some folks in there. I'm just talking to myself now. Oh, jeez. Coming up to 10,000 already. Good enough. Let's keep going. We're going west, so we're going to pick 32,000 feet. even number. If you're going east, it's an odd number, I believe. These are VNAV screwed up again, okay? Alright, we're doing good. We're at 10,000 feet, so landing lights can come off. And these guys can come off. Oh, we gotta turn them off before we took off. Oh well. These don't have to be on continuous anymore. Put them to auto. Logo lights, don't need them. Wing, wheel well, off, don't need them, don't need them. RTO is done, flaps are up. That's about it, folks. I think we're in the air. Everything's looking good. Let's look out the window. No. Guess what happened to my ortho scenery for this particular, or that's a junction of all those things, so you kind of want to avoid that if you can, because now we're looking at boring X-plane default scenery there as opposed to the ortho stuff that looks really good over there. Actually behind us, look at that, looks real. This one here, not so much. Not so much. So yeah, there we go. Alright, we are climbing well. Very well. Let's keep an eye on that that fuel. Our wing, if we burn through our wings, we'll have to turn off the pumps for those and just use the center. Actually, we should probably do that now anyway, just for fun. We'll turn off the wing ones, we'll just use the center for a while. Burn the center gas. Leave the wings alone. Yep, that looks like it's working now. Alright. Everybody's good. And now we enter the boring part of our flight, where there's absolutely nothing to do, except for maybe plan our arrival, which I suppose we could do. So let's bounce over to SimBrief, and let's just generate it again. I just want the most up-to-date weather. Just want some up-to-the-date weather. Alright. Somewhere in here again, since I have such a hard time finding it, is our weather. There it is.
Altimeter 7.
Oh, shoot. Never thought of that. Forgot about that. Sorry. Transition altitude, go to standard on the barometer, so that we're all flying at the same altitude, regardless of where we came from. Complain about that? Where who said that? It's kind of cool. Alright, let's see. CYYZ is our destination. They got a little bit of wind. A little bit of wind. 310, 9 gusting to 18. 310. So we should probably be arriving. Maybe the 2.4s or the 3.3s. Let's shoot for. Let's go. Kind of like the 24s, but 33s are good too. One of these guys. Yeah. Let's do 2.4 right. What the hell? What the hell? Let's do it. Take a look at our legs here. Picma. We'll just put him in there for now. I don't know if that makes sense. We'll just have to take a peek. Go into our plan mode here. Just kind of zip through and take a look and see what it's going to look like. Ah, crap. I did it again. Sorry. I moved the trim levers. They don't like that. Don't do that. Alright, step. Alright, we're gonna come up to Tucker, Libum, Big Sap, Udnox, Ragged, Pigma, Abdol, Noah, whatever, and then 24. So 24, 180 is here, 2700, so 24 is going this way, so we're landing that way, and that makes sense. I like it. It looks pretty good. Let's make it a little smaller, so or a little closer up, so we can just kind of make sure. There we are, runway 24, and we're going to just come straight in. Beauty. That should be good. I like it. Alright. Whoa. Craziness. There we go. We don't need to be in plan anymore. Whoa, it's bouncy. You guys notice that? Getting some turbulence. 26,000 feet. Getting a little bit of turbulence. Huh. That's weird. Actually, it's not at all. Not weird at all. We'll see what happens when we get a little higher. Probably just getting it off the top of these clouds. Be alright. Alright. Well, folks, excuse me for a moment. I have to let my dog into the basement because he's freaking out and scratching the door. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. So now would be a good time, honestly. If there were people in the chat, they could ask questions, or we could discuss stuff, or they could give me some pointers, or who knows. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot, folks. What the heck is going on here? Where's our top of climb? And where the heck are we? There's our top of descent coming up, and we're not even at our altitude yet, our cruising altitude. And why are we way off to the left? Oh, we're still on vectors. That's why. No, we're doing okay though. Do it. Go. Oh, we should probably go straight to IGSAP now. I miss Tucker. Yeah. Huh. There we go. Come on, straighten us out. Take us wherever we need to be. Top of climb should be like any moment now. Bring that down. 32. Outstanding. Now we can get a little speed up before we hit our top of descent. And we're back on course. That was funny. I always forget to move ahead from those vectors. Real close to the top of descent. I wonder what happened there. We should be back into our ortho scenery. Yup. That looks much better. Much, much better. How does that look, eh? Out the window. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Love X-Plane. They've done wonders for this thing. And it's all free. It's the best kind of. To get this kind of view and this kind of performance and this kind of anything out of one of the other simulators is, I don't know. It cost a bunch of money, that's for sure. That is for sure. It would be expensive. You'd have to buy all sorts of add-ons for the scenery. You'd have to have a monster machine to get this kind of smoothness. No stutters. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Not a single stutter. Nothing. Look outside there. Look at that. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Nice and smooth. Good scenery. Nice little plane for free. It's beautiful. Oh geez, we're top of descent already. Alright, where's our first restriction? Or oh, I did it again. That's funny. Alright. Yeah, I reset it. We're going to be Udnox at 22,300. So we'll just pretend. There we go. So as we approach Udnox, should be remotely close to that altitude. Here comes the pink guy. Show us where we should be descending and how fast. Perfect. I love these relatively short flights. Love them. Yeah, Bing Maps could do a little bit of a better job here, though. I'm noticing some scenery that has like clouds in the ortho picture. I think there was some, yeah, over there. I think those are clouds in the actual picture, in the actual orthographic scenery, which is a little weird. Probably try and look for a better one of that. I never had any of that when we were doing the Atlantic flights. So maybe there's a better source for the ortho in Ontario. Yeah, I would say. I think the next flight, guys, I think we're going to fly to Boston and check out that freeware airport that Mr. X does. It's a beauty. I put it in, I looked at it briefly, but I haven't actually flown into it yet, and I'd love to. And I'm not sure if the ortho gave me the downtown area, but it looks really good as well. I don't know if it was Mr. X's scenery, if it was the ortho, but it looks really, really good. So I'm going to look forward to that flight for sure. I'm not sure what we're going to cover in terms of learning X-Plane next. I got a whole pile of plugins here, and I went through some of them last time. Some of them work good, some of them not so much, but wow, Fast Plan FMC, I wonder what that is. It's kind of cool. Some of these got installed for me when I put the NOAA in there, because it also installs the Python interface and does a bunch of stuff, but like I said, it doesn't really work. So if I go to config though, it tells me the closest METAR station, so I can get some weather off of it, but I'd really like to be able to type into that METAR query. That would be amazing. So then I could just type in CYYZ, and I'd be able to it would be able to show me what the weather's like over there right now, which would be great, instead of generating flight plans again. If I was on VATSIM, I could be relying on the ATC, I guess, and maybe that's what I'll have to start doing at some point here. Once I get a few decent flights under my belt where things don't get totally screwed up like they did on that last flight. And of course, a little bit on the beginning of this flight when I didn't go past my vectors. I just kind of... The VNAV was doing its job, taking us up to the right altitudes at the right time and whatnot, but our LNAV, we weren't going in the right direction. Thank God we were semi-headed in that direction anyway. Alright, so we are coming down to Udnox shortly, and we do not have... Oh, we need some drag. Alright. They just had the Pride Parade in Charlottetown. There's some drag. Sorry. Let's throw in some... it says it needs drag, but it seems like we're doing okay. We're at the right speed, and we're at the right altitude, so... I was just giving it a little bit of spoiler, but maybe we don't need it. I love having my spoiler hooked up to a throttle lever. It's amazing. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay, FMC. Don't fret. Alright, Udnox. We're coming in. We're supposed to be at 22.3. Let's set it up for ragged 11.9. 11.9. Yeah, Look at the clouds. I don't even have a decent cloud engine yet. I'm really looking at getting X Enviro, but this is just stock X-plane clouds, and they look pretty good. They look pretty good. A little repetitive on the pattern, but they look fluffy. They look good. There's some of the ones underneath are darker. The ones on the top are light. The way it should be. Nothing wrong with that. It was funny. I was outside yesterday. One of the things that I noticed in some of the X-plane add-on weather would be, I think it was another one. What was it called? SkyMax Pro or something like that. And if you take the old version and put it into X-plane, I noticed that it would have like a gray outline around the cloud. I'm like, that looks totally unrealistic, right? So I went camping yesterday, and there was some clouds, and I looked up, and oh my God, didn't they have a gray outline? I've never noticed that before. It was just crazy. So I was, yeah, I kind of shut up about that now. They probably do, any of the add-on weather engines probably just do a fine job. Maybe they have different strengths or whatever, but just should be just fine. I suppose we could take a look at how much farther we got here. Holy cow. Check out some progress in the FMC. So, we're currently, I don't know, again, forgot to turn on my clock. We're at 2010, just passing Udnox. We have 113 miles to go, nautical miles, and it's going to take us about 24 minutes. 24 minutes on this flight still. Holy cow. Can you believe that? I like short flights because then you get to do more during those flights. These ones tend to, this is, for me, honestly, this is a pretty long flight. I just don't like sitting here watching the airplane fly itself, Hey, I like doing takeoffs and landings, and apparently I need the practice. So, but when you're flying airliners, it's not like you can just do little hops, especially when the only plane I really have an inkling of an idea of how to fly is the 737. Now, if I were to hop into, if I had a Beechcraft, like 1900D or something like that, that would be awesome, because I know they fly those from Charlottetown to Halifax and then all the time, and they're just in real life. And that would be pretty awesome, but it does slow it down as well. So I do like to do the short flights, just so I don't have to sit here so much. It's a little better if you have somebody to talk to, or if you're group flying and you have a TeamSpeak or some kind of voice connection with all those guys, and or even a channel that you could plug into and just chat and stuff, talk about things. It kind of passes the time a little bit, but when you're just kind of sitting here, that's why. Another reason I like to stream these things now is just because at least it gives me something to do. I can talk to people. Even though there's nobody listening right now, somebody may actually watch this at some point. So, yeah. Gives you something to do. How are we doing up top? How's our fuel situation? Still sucking out of the middle tank? Yup. So theoretically, we had 5,000 extra pounds of fuel, so that's a little bit less than our wing tank. So we should be burning through a good portion of this center tank, and it doesn't look like we are. It's kind of funny. I know on the PMDG it'll actually estimate the fuel, and I'm not sure why this one doesn't. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's because I didn't have it fully set up right in my beginning flows there. Maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe I missed something. Yeah. Learning all the time. Learning. Cool. Look at that. Look at that scenery. Zoom right in on it. Look at that. Whoa. Little cloud rolling by. Look at the trees. The roads. Just knowing that that's an actual road that exists somewhere and it looks pretty much like that. It's pretty cool. Love Ortho. Love it. Oh, look, more fake clouds. That's what that is. Yeah. Look at that. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's not baked in, because it looks like they have... Looks like... No, maybe not. I was going to say, maybe that... It looks like a cloud, and then there's like... No, that's not... Yeah, they got trees over top of the cloud drawn there now, so yeah. That is a cloud texture right on the Ortho. Kind of crappy. We'll have to look for a different source for Ontario. See if we can get a better quality. Maybe we'll go with Google Maps instead of Bing. That's what the BI stands for in Ortho. Bing. So yeah. Yeah. How we doing? How we doing? We're coming up to Ragged. And believe that was where we wanted to be at 11.9, and we are approaching that. That's good. So the next one's 3,000 above at Picma, so we'll go 3,000 on this guy. There we go. Whoa, that was weird. What the hell? Huh. Weird. Something weird happened there. Alright, we will go to 3,000. Doom. Boom. Yep, flying airliners is tough. These guys must get bored out of their minds sitting here all day. I mean, the rest of it, the flight, you're busy and you're having fun, you're doing stuff, but when you're just kind of going, I imagine they have like a newspaper or something. For some reason, I don't think they're allowed to have an iPad anymore. Something happened there. I didn't like that. Some of the payware planes you can get for X-Plane, you can actually get out of your seat and walk through the cabin. This one doesn't have it modeled. But yeah, you totally can. You know, like the Jar Design A320, which is probably the next plane we'll get used to on here. And we'll learn. You have, you can totally get up, walk back, walk through all the passenger areas, check stuff out, look outside of windows. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Alright, we're not quite at 10,000 yet, so I wonder what our current altimeter barometric pressure should be. I do not know. If we had ATC, they could tell us. Well, let's just set it for Toronto. What was that? 3008. Alright, so let's just do it now. What the hell? 3008. Oh, it's even higher pressure. Sweet. There we go. 3008. And we're dropping below 10,000 feet. I never turned off the seatbelt sign, so everybody's been sitting there. Man, wonder if they had to go pee. That'd be brutal. Stay in your seat, you bastard passengers. Look, more ground clouds. I'll have to fix that. I'm gonna totally wipe out this scenery. It looks nice, but it's those clouds are driving me crazy. What do you do? Right on. Should be an easy approach. Shouldn't be any reason for us to screw this up. Look at all those waypoints in our way. Go away. There we go. Turn this down a bit. Oops. There we go. Picma. So, runway 24. So as soon as we hit Picma, we're about 15 miles, a little less than 15 miles to the runway. So I have always underestimated or overestimated the time we have left, and I end up throwing flaps in really quick at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ridiculously early and see how that works out for us. We're going to start slowing down. We're going to start doing all that approach stuff sooner, just to see if we can improve upon the approach. What is that blue behind Pigma there? CYKZ. No, it's an airport. Yeah, it is. Don't need airports. Where we're going, we don't need airports. Jeez, I hope that's not true. Oh, let's complain about drag again. How are we doing? Not too bad. We can give it a little bit, I guess. There we go. There we go. Alright. Yeah, now we're spooling up the engines because I got too much drag. Make up your mind, FMC. It's too conservative. There's downtown Toronto. I don't have the CN Tower and stuff. I'm gonna have to find some decent Toronto scenery. I got the Toronto airport scenery, but I don't think it does a good job of the downtown, or it probably doesn't even cover it. It's alright. Alright, we're coming up to 5,000 feet. We will be landing at 600 feet. So, and we're supposed to be above 3,000 at Pigma, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. We'll leave it for now. So, let's handle our speed here. Or do we want to? Yeah, we do. We're gonna slow her down. Yeah. Keep dropping, dude. Keep dropping. What are you doing? Come on. Boom. 3,000. And we're gonna drop. We'll go 1,200. Just to make sure we're above 3,000 when we hit Pigma, which is actually coming up here pretty quick. Oh yeah, real quick. Like, now. Alright, well, that's good. So we can drop this down to 600, which is our landing altitude. And we'll go, we're a little high, so we'll drop a little quicker. And we'll drop our speed and start planning for our landing. Let's see. How much we got? About 14 or so. Yeah, I'd say 3, 8, 12, 13. Yeah, okay. Screw it. We're gonna start early. Let's drop the gear because we can. Anybody cares? There's your limits. 270 for extending. We're good. Way below that. No problem.
2,500.
No problem at all. Alright. Flaps, man. Flaps. I think we're dropping a little too fast here. A little too fast. It's probably been happening for a while.
Flight attendants for landing.
Oh god, oh god. Slow down, man, slow down. Whoa, plane, whoa. Right on. What do you think, guys? Am I gonna screw this or what? Yeah, we're totally going way too fast down here. Alright, just for fun, I'm gonna do something. Let's see, what are we on? 110.9. That's not going to be the ILS approach. I thought the FMC was supposed to take care of this. Come on. Alright, VNAV, take over. I suck. Alright, I wanna see, I can't remember. What's the YYZ, what are we, 24 right, ILS frequency, what is it? 4 right, ILS 110.95. Oh, that was close. It was close. Okay, what's VNAV doing? Go easy, buddy. Easy, easy. I don't want to bring the flaps up. I'm screwing the approach again. Again. No, we want to slow down. Come on. Slow down, man. Don't be in such a rush. We can pull up a little bit. Oh, look. Glide slope. Finally. Yeah. There I am again, late with the flaps. Alright, doing this by hand. This should be a go around. We're too high. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get some split. I'm not even set up for a landing. This is ridiculous.
2, 4, right.
500.
I used to grease this stuff. Not sure what's going on here.
400.
Oh my god. We don't have anything set up. I don't even know if we have our lights on. Oh man, I'm screwing it again. Wow, the wind's behind us.
200.
That's not what we saw.
100.
So it's like a really bad...
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Wow, that was... well, I think we would have died. Pretty sure we would have just died. And I'm not even reversing. What the hell? Come on. Yeah, whatever. Oh, that was brutal. I want a do-over. Yeah, we would have died. That's terrible. Ugh. Good thing I didn't do that online. They probably would have vectored me in better, though. Geez, see how fast you go. See how fast you go from approaching to just like mayhem of landing. I used to be so good at that. I'm not sure what happened. Need to practice, I guess. Lots and lots of practice. And just like our approach, we're going to come straight in and park right in front of us because I just want this flight to be over. I do. I really do. Man, learn X-Plan with Craig. Yep. That's what we're doing. I'm not even supposed to enter there. What the hell? Nah, we're doing it anyway. Screw you guys. We're not online. There's nobody else flying right now. I just want this thing parked. That was brutal. Didn't have our landing lights on. Oh, hold that down a bit. Yeah. Get the APU going. Speedy Gonzalez on the apron here. Yeah. I just dated myself, didn't I? Alright, bring her in. Now we're too far. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Don't care. Alright, parking brake. Fine. We're good. Ish. Wow, did it just get really dark in here? What the hell? Whoa! What the hell just happened? That's cool. It's a new feature. It's called Time Warp. There's a key combination. I'm guessing my joystick hit it, where you can change time very quickly in X-Plane, kind of like this. And I'm guessing that one of my joystick buttons or axes are moving time for me. And the reason I know that is because I had to start using my Cytec throttle, because my joystick throttle, when I was sitting in the cockpit, if I pulled back on it, let's look what happens. If I pull back, and that's just, and it doesn't matter, let's go back. It doesn't matter if I leave it there or not. It just goes and moves my head back. So it's basically taking the period and the control, or the comma and the period, and it's just, in this case, the comma, and it's just pulling it back. And why would my joystick would be doing that is beyond me. It's not an X-Plane thing. I disabled all my plugins and it still did that. So I'm guessing I have another axis that is using K or L, which is that time shift thing. See? Woo, look. Dusk, daytime, noon. Boom, just like that. So yeah, that's what's going on there, and I haven't figured it out yet, so I suppose we don't need our spoilers down anymore. There's a whole pile of stuff. Oh my god, this is just brutal. Turn on our APU gens, get our bleeds going, turn those off, and let's cut off the engines. There we go. Right on, guys. Is anything anybody wants to see? I know we got a few people watching right now, so if there's anything you want to see, drop it in the chat. Love to talk to people. I'd love for this stream to become interactive at some point. I don't want people just to come in and start watching me fly around and bumble my way around an airport, as I have done the last 2 flights. Just not able to do the approach very well. I really need to start doing the approach stuff way sooner and trusting my instruments a little bit better, I think, because that was brutal again. Not as bad, believe it or not, as the last flight, but it was pretty bad, very bad. The flaps are still coming down. I was like right there. I didn't trust what I was doing, and I took over the altitude. I need to not do that. Yeah, I just really like it to slow down too, though, and so I always end up hitting like level change and changing my and slowing us down, but that turns off VNav, and then I'm not descending at the correct rate, and I should be capturing the localizer and the glide slope sooner, so that I can be controlling that stuff. Because as soon as you go into approach mode, you can turn down your speed there too. So it's all procedure based, and I really should follow some of the checklists. Probably help out quite a bit too. Yeah. So that's what I have to work on. You know, feel free to drop a comment in the at the bottom of this video or in the chat, and let me know what you think and what you'd like to see and what you'd like to work on for yourselves, and you know, give me some pointers, and we'll go through this together. Here's by the way, here's Toronto. This is free. This X-Plane scenery from the org site. It's free. Looking pretty good. It's not quite right. I know they have some big arches on these buildings and whatnot, so they're not exactly right, but it's pretty good. Apparently there is some cool animated gate kind of stuff that's going on there. Apparently I'm in a parking spot for a much larger aircraft. I'm pretty sure that's true. But yeah, they got the infield stuff, the tower out there. It's pretty decent. Pretty decent. It looks really nice, actually. All the trees, although I'm not sure how many trees there are around the airport in Toronto. I think it's mostly there's an awful lot of aviation-related businesses, and there's actually restaurants and stuff out in the highway over there. I know, or out in the roads out there. So it's not too bad though. Looks like a decent airport. Oh, look, a little baggage cart. That's funny. Alright, guys. That's it for me. Have a great Sunday, the rest of your Sunday. And we'll see you next time.